She thought she won when she left. Do this and flip the game on her. She walked out thinking you were finished. She misread the man in front of her. You felt it. The humiliation at 2 a.m., staring at your iPhone, her name grayed out, blocked on Instagram. She's posting rooftop stories in Manhattan with some dude in a Yankees cap. Your buddies at Sunday NFL ask where she went. Your mom brings up her name at Thanksgiving. You tried to talk like a gentleman at a Starbucks in Austin and she looked past you like you didn't exist. Left on red, mutual friends whisper. Respect evaporates. She's with another guy on the gram, and you're replaying the last argument on a loop, scrolling Spotify for a song that fixes a hole in your chest. You feel like she took the crown in the room. Tonight, we reset the board. No begging. No chasing. We remove emotion from the table like a dawn in a dark booth. Calm, precise, unshakable. You reclaim your frame, your body, your money, your mission. We play a different game. Disciplined, no contact with purpose. Structure for your days. The gym at dawn. Cleaner style, stronger circle, a mind that doesn't flinch. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do in the first 30 days. What to say if she texts, "I miss us." How to carry yourself when you run into her at Whole Foods in LA, and how to turn your silence into gravity. If you're done being a casualty, hit subscribe now. In the first pinned comment, I left a free checklist and deeper material to sharpen this strategy, because the first move is the one she'll never see coming. Are you man enough to do nothing and let discipline speak? Or will you hand her your power in the first 48 hours? Then hear this. The first 48 hours are not a romance. They're a referendum. You either sit in the big chair and let silence carry your power, or you break formation and bleed status all over your phone. Every impulse is a trap dressed as relief. You feel the itch to check her followers, to scroll her tagged photos, to triangulate her location on a friend's story in Brooklyn. You open the chat, type a paragraph, delete it, pour a whiskey, type it again, hit send because midnight made you sentimental. No, you do not stalk what disrespected you. You do not feed the algorithm with your obsession. You do not send a TED Talk at 1 a.m. explaining your feelings to someone who already decided to stop listening. She ghosts and you consider concessions. Coffee as just friends. Tickets to a show you bought together. Might as well go, right? You rationalize an apology tour she never asked for, hoping your apology earns a return. No, you do not lobby for your own value. You do not audition for a role you once owned. You do not accept the demotion to friend because you're afraid of the silence. The friend zone is not neutral. It is a museum of men she does not choose. Don't hang yourself on that wall. You pace your apartment, you remember her birthday. You wonder if a flower delivery would make you look noble. You imagine bumping into her in Soho or on Abbot Kinney and finally saying the perfect line. You comb through Spotify like there's a song that will reverse time. You think about DMing her roommate because she always liked you. No, you do not recruit her circle. You do not run a campaign. You do not give her the theater of your desperation. She is watching your behavior now more than your words. Respect is built in absence or destroyed in performance. So what does a man do when the room goes cold? He builds a new room. A room with schedule, with iron, with silence that weighs more than his urges. Swipe her contact to hidden. Archive the chat. Mute her existence. Not for drama, for discipline. Your apartment becomes a dojo. Phone on airplane mode till noon. Alarm at 5:30. Water. Sunlight. 30 minutes of stillness. Journal not to whine, but to separate signal from noise. Breakfast like a professional. Gym at dawn, not because you're angry, but because you have a body to command. We're talking deadlifts in Houston, hill sprints in San Diego, jiu-jitsu in Denver. Full body reminders that you live inside a machine that responds to orders. Your money gets a boss. You cancel the subscription circus. You map debt. You set auto investments like a man who plans winters and wars. You dress like the position you're applying for in life. Clean white tee, fitted denim, dark boots, a navy jacket that says serious. Hair clean, beard intentional. You tighten your circle. Sunday NFL becomes a training camp, not a pity party. You sit with men who lift when it rains. You call your brother, your mentor, your father. You learn to cook a steak properly. You pick a book that outlasts trends, Carnegie, Seneca, the kind of wisdom that fits in a jacket pocket and changes how you enter a room. You want a story? Here's one from right here, stateside. Marcus from Chicago, 29. She left in January. The last words were practical and cruel. I need to find myself. Delivered over a chai latte near Wicker Park, with a winter wind punching through his coat. He did everything wrong in week 1. He refreshed her Instagram until his thumb went numb. He texted her at 1:13 a.m. from a dive bar off Milwaukee Avenue, a heartfelt essay with typos, a digital drunk confession. She replied at 9:42 a.m. with a thumb up. He offered friendship she didn't request. If you need anything, I'm here. The silence that followed was surgical. He felt small. Then something broke in a good way. Day 8, he deleted the thread. He wiped photos to a hard drive and moved the hard drive out of his home. He joined a boxing gym on the south side, the kind with chalk dust and a coach who didn't care about his heartbreak. He stopped drinking for 90 days. He moved his savings to a separate account with no card attached. He shaved. He went to a real barber. He bought a pair of boots that felt like he could march across a state. He built a schedule and stopped asking his feelings for permission. He stopped lurking her friends' stories. He replaced midnight scrolling with 10 pages of a book and sleep like a soldier. He took a weekend to visit his old man in Indiana and came back with thicker skin. He posted nothing about the breakup. No subs, no quotes. Silence. Month 2, he looked different. He carried his frame like a man who knows where the exits are. At work, he volunteered for the ugly project nobody wanted. He stayed late, not as escape, but as investment. He ate meals he cooked. He learned to sit alone in a restaurant without his phone on the table. He bought a plant and kept it alive. He stopped giving second chances to flaky people. He smiled less, but when he did, it counted. One night in March, he walked home from the gym and a car rolled by. Her friend in the passenger seat. She saw him. He didn't wave. He didn't smolder. He just kept pace. 2 days later, a text came in from a strange number. Hey, is this still Marcus's phone? He let it sit for 4 hours, read at 9:13, replied at 1:27 with 6 words. Hope you're well, busy, take care. No emojis, no hooks, gravity. By April, she reached out directly. I miss us. He didn't explode. He didn't punish. He didn't gloat. He met her in a public daytime setting, 30 minutes, coffee in River North. He arrived clean, on time, with a schedule after, which he kept. She cried. She remembered. She floated trial balloons. He didn't pop them. He let them drift away. He thanked her for the good years. He didn't negotiate the past. He did not accept friends. He did not accept maybe later. He did not offer we can see. He returned to his mission. In May, she reached again. He didn't. By June, he wasn't pretending to be unreachable. He was unreachable. New role at work. New men in his circle. His mother told him he looked taller. That's what silence does when it hardens. Let's step back. Why does this work? Because scarcity speaks a language the heart understands without words. Because a man on mission bends the room. Because attention is currency and you are the treasury. And because every time you break no contact for a hit of dopamine, you sell stock in yourself for cents on the dollar. When you stop selling, the market corrects. So we set codes, not preferences, codes. Law of silence. You do not explain your absence, you embody it. Law of distance. You remove access that is not earned, immediately and without theatrics. Law of frame. You never argue for your value, you live it and let the room calibrate. Law of mission. You put work, health, and purpose above the cycle of hope and panic. Law of finality. You accept the breakup as real and you act like a man whose life didn't end, because it didn't. Maybe you're thinking, but what if she moves on fast? What if she's in Miami on a boat by next weekend? Let her. A fast move is not a happy one. It's a loud one. Your response is not to compete for volume. Your response is to become a quiet problem she cannot solve. Want to reset? Look at your phone battery. If it dies by lunchtime, your discipline is weak. Plug into real life. Grip a barbell, tie your shoes. Sweat makes better decisions than whiskey. And what about when you cross paths? Whole Foods in LA. She's in leggings and nostalgia. She taps your shoulder. Your heart spikes. So does your training. You stand straight. You smile like a gentleman, short and sincere. Good to see you. I'm heading out. Hope you're well. She reaches for the past. You stay in the present. You do not lean on the cart and rehash. You do not ask about the dude in the Yankees cap. You do not flirt or burn. You leave on your timing because you have somewhere to be. Make your exit an event. She'll remember the man who didn't audition. Nights will test you. The bed is wider than it used to be. The city feels too loud or too quiet. That's where most men lose themselves. They drink and send relics to women who have already archived them. They lurk until 4 a.m. and call it coping. They become the friend, the reliable shoulder, the on-call therapist. No, you are not a support beam for a structure you no longer live in. Keep your counsel. Journal the ache. Push air until your lungs forget her name. Pray if you pray. Train either way. The grief doesn't vanish, it converts. You don't numb it, you harness it. This isn't revenge. Revenge still centers her. This is renunciation. The Don does not chase. He withdraws the privilege of access. Notice what happens when you operate like that for 30 days. An ex doesn't think in straight lines. She feels in spikes. Silence gives you spikes. You'll see half-likes. You'll get random check-ins. How's your mom? Which gym is that? We should catch up sometime. I had a dream about you. If you engage like a king who doesn't need the audience. Minimal, polite, boundary-driven. Or don't engage at all. Indifference is fluent in every language. What about the urge to prove you've leveled up? The thirst trap post. The rented Lambo in Vegas. The caption about new beginnings. It's bait for a pond you've outgrown. The men who win don't perform improvement. They compound it. They go to bed on time. They build things quietly. They return calls. They pay bills early. They show up when they said they would. That's the energy that flips the board. Not a carousel of stories from a rooftop with strangers you'll never see again. You will feel the pull to negotiate. She'll suggest friendship like it's maturity. It's not. It's insurance. Hers, not yours. We were so close, why throw it away? Because respect doesn't survive in halfway houses. Because proximity without intention is a slow bleed. Because you know who you are when you're in limbo. Not a lover, not a leader, just a layaway item. You are not inventory. Decline with grace. I don't do platonic with exes. Wishing you the best. Period. The boundary will sting, good. Boundaries you can feel are the only ones that hold. Listen to me now. A woman can leave you, but she shouldn't be able to break you. That difference is your work. You are not the same man you were when she walked. You are the man who built a routine that would outlast either outcome. You are the man who learned to eat dinner alone without reaching for his phone every 40 seconds. You are the man whose weekends don't collapse without a +1. You are the man whose mother sees calm in his eyes. You are the man other men ask for advice at the gym, not because you're loud, but because you're centered. That man is scarce. Scarce men pull the world toward them. You might ask, what if she comes back ready, changed, respectful? Then you evaluate like a CEO, not a teenager. You set terms you can live with. You pace it slow. You check for consistency over 30, 60, 90 days. You do not rush to reclaim a comfort that cost you your edge. And if she doesn't come back, you didn't build this for her anyway. You built it because you looked in the mirror and saw a boardroom chair sitting empty. And you chose to sit in it. There's one more move, and it's the one that turns your silence from tactic to truth. It's the difference between a man waiting and a man becoming. It's the point where she can text, "I miss us," and your pulse doesn't spike because your life is full. It's the moment you no longer need the win because you already won. You feel it like Marcus did, walking through River North in June, sun on his face, a calendar full, a phone quiet, a life speaking for him. Hold this line. Don't blink. In a minute, I'm going to hand you the exact responses that end negotiations without creating enemies. The body language that says, "I'm good," without words, and the closer that gives you closure without a meeting. Stay with me. The final act carries the sentence, and once you hear it, the game flips for good. Here's the sentence you were waiting for. "Hope you're well, I'm focused, take care." That's the whole move. No drama, no hooks. Delivered slow, once after a delay. And if she wants to negotiate, you end it without making an enemy. I don't do platonic with exes wishing you the best. If she texts, "I miss us," I appreciate that. My path is set, be well. If she says, "Let's talk," not available for that, take care. If she asks, "Do you hate me?" No hate. Just boundaries. If she sends nostalgia, "Had a dream about you. How's your mom?" You either ignore or reply hours later with clean lines. "She's good. Hope your family's well." Period. No emojis, no questions, no theater. Then you put the phone down like a man putting down a gavel. Body language that says, "I'm good," without words when she appears in Whole Foods or on Abbott Kinney. Shoulders low, spine tall, feet pointed to your exit, one breath through the nose, half smile, 2 seconds of eye contact, then you glance past her to where you're going. Voice low and unhurried. "Good to see you, I'm heading out." No lean in, no cart lean confession. Don't fix your hat, don't fidget with keys. Keep pace, end first, leave first. She'll feel the difference more than she'll hear it. Closure without a meeting is simple. It's a line you give yourself, and then you live it. The chapter is closed. My life is open. If you must send a closer because she keeps fishing, send it once. Grateful for what was, I'm not revisiting it, take care. Then mute, archive, and stop rereading your own words. Closure is behavior sustained for 30 days, not a final paragraph at 1 a.m. Reinforce the codes. Law of silence. You don't explain a boundary, you hold it. Law of distance. Remove access calmly, immediately, no fireworks. Law of frame. Never argue your value, embody it. Law of mission. Work, health, purpose. First, daily, non-negotiable. Law of finality. Accept the breakup as real and act like a man whose future isn't on layaway. Say them out loud, then make them visible. You're in the United States. Act like the CEO of your life in a New York boardroom, not a kid in a group chat. Phone on airplane till noon, gym when the city's asleep. Deadlifts in Houston, hills in San Diego, rounds in Denver. Cook your own dinner. Navy jacket, clean white tee, dark boots that can cross a state. Sunday NFL is film study, not a pity party. Money with a plan, debt mapped, auto investments set, calls returned, bills paid early, schedule like a pro. Exit like a gentleman. You want the flip? One word, sovereignty. Not revenge, not noise, sovereignty. Scarcity plus mission equals gravity. When you stop auditioning, the room calibrates. When you stop selling, the market corrects. When you stop chasing, she feels the silence more than your paragraphs ever could. Now look in the mirror tonight under the bathroom light and ask the only question that matters. Would I follow this man? Not the man with quotes on his story. The man with a calendar, a back squat, a bank plan, and a phone that doesn't beg. If the answer is no, you already know your work. If the answer is yes, you don't need her applause to prove it. Subscribe if you're done bleeding status and ready to build a frame that outlasts any breakup. Like this if you're holding silence for the next 48 hours. Drop a comment with the exact boundary line you'll use, or just write the word sovereignty so I know you claimed your chair. More templates, voice tone drills, and the full 30-day protocol are in the pinned comment. You don't chase what walked. You withdraw access and you advance your life. Access revoked.